Hey, what's up everybody? Today's video we're going to be doing a little ratchet comparison on cordless ratchets. Both of these are 12 volt max battery packs, but two different tools. First one we got up is the Mac BRS 025 with the Dewalt 12 volt max battery lineup. And we're going to put that up against the new Makita RW01 with Makita's 12 volt max battery lineup. Let's get this thing started. So a couple things right off the bat. Size difference between the two. They're virtually about the same size. Maybe just a fraction off. Not enough to be a big concern, so I'm not even going to mention it, but pretty much the same size. So let's start off with that. One of the big advantages I think that Makita has over the Dewalt is that the anvil is actually changeable. As you'll see here, I got it 3/8 in the head right now, and you'll see that in there you have just a hollow hole pushed through right there. Just grab something like a screwdriver, pop it in there, pop it out, reach into your box. We're going to switch over to the quarter inch anvil right there. You'll see it's just kind of like a, you'll see like there's a spline in there. Just simply put it in. Snap it in, and you're good to go. No need to buy two tools, or as you would with the Mac here. This is a 1/4 inch model. They do offer a 3/8 model, which is identically the same. The only difference is the anvil. So you'd be paying twice as much for the same tool, basically, that you would get here. You could switch your anvils. Good to go. So 1 point for the Makita. So we talked a little bit about the head on the ratchet design. Makita just being your traditional air ratchet style. You'll see there's some grease in there that it did come with from the factory, versus a sealed head, which I'm sure is greased in there as well. But you also have the option here. You'll see a little Zerk fitting right there where you could pump in some grease. Where that comes in handy is longevity of the tool. You keep it greased, it's gonna pretty much last you forever. It just really cuts down drastically on the wear of the ratcheting teeth in the head. And you'll see right here we have another one right behind the selector switch. And like I said, that's big plus keeping your tool lasting you a long time, give you good reliability. I've had this Mac ratchet for about 7 years now. And the only problem I've ever had with it was breaking the anvil. And that was because I was just being stupid and seeing how much hand pressure I could put on the actual tool itself on a 1/4 inch drive. Didn't end well, so warranty took care of it for me. Other than that, I've been taking care of it ever since. I keep it clean. Versus the Makita, you don't have anywhere to grease it. You pretty much just got to kind of keep up on the maintenance on keeping it clean. Other than that, we'll have to see how long it lasts. I've only owned this one for about 3 months now. So only time will tell on how long it'll last. So that's 1 point for the Mac. All right, one of the main things about why I made the purchase to get the Makita is not only the swappable anvils, so you have both your 3/8 and your 1/4 inch drive in one tool, but the speed of the ratchet itself. The Mac BRS 025 has a max speed of 200 RPMs. And the Makita, I think, is the fastest on the cordless market right now with 800 RPMs. And that, to me, is the biggest time saver that you could have in a tool is speed. If you're breaking fasteners loose, you're going to break them by hand. You're going to use the tool itself, you're going to break it loose. But as far as spinning the nut off of the bolt, you're going to want that speed. And with the Makita, it gives you that speed. So I'm going to roll a few clips here and you'll see the difference between speed comparison between the two. Alright, first one we're going to tighten is the Mac. First one we're going to tighten with is the Mac. Here we go. We're on tightening. And now the Makita. Big difference in speed. So when it comes to speed, we're going to have to give a point to Makita. Alright everybody, let's talk about batteries here. With the Mac, they are using Dewalt's battery platform, which has been tried and true. It's been around for a while. 12 volt Max lineup never really seemed to grow. It's been pretty slim. It seems like in 2020 they're starting to kind of ramp it up again and get things going. But for the most part, there's not a whole lot of selection versus the 20 volt system. But they do make excellent batteries. This is the upgraded battery, which is what Mac calls, I believe, the R spec. With this, they just kind of added more rubber covering on it to add it from basically getting damaged and with drops, scratches, bumps, all that kind of stuff. It's pretty well protected. Slight improvement versus the old one, which is just all hard plastic, which I'll show you here in a bit. But the thing I dislike about it is the screws that they put. They're a little recessed on this side, and you'll see that here. Not sure how well you could see it in the camera, but it's a little recessed. So it is going to, keep those heads from getting marred up and unable to service in the future. Versus on this side, they're kind of just sticking straight up. And eventually, I think with enough banging and setting it down and maybe possibly dropping it, you're going to end up messing up these, and they are going to be hard to get out. But that's one thing. With the Makita battery here, it's an all hard plastic design. I don't know, I haven't owned it long enough to know how long these will last with automotive fluids, but for the most part so far, I've gotten brake cleaner and ATF on it and didn't seem to phase it too much. So, like I said, time will tell. But one of the key differences between this and the Mac here is you'll see that the Makita has a battery power indicator right here, versus anything with DeWalt in the 12 volt lineup does not have that feature. Only on the 20 volt Max system do they offer that. So that's a big difference, I think, with Makita. So we'll give Makita a point for that. Another thing which I mentioned was the recessed screws. You'll see on Makita, they are well placed deep down in those holes, and there's no way you're going to damage those heads on those screws right there. So that's a plus. We'll give Makita another point for that. Other than that, they're the same size. Really not too much differences there. But like I said, with Mac, you do have that option to use the Dewalt batteries, which I do have a Dewalt lithium-ion battery right here from the 12 volt Max system. This one is a 1.3 amp hour, which is lower than the 2.0 that comes with the tool. But like I said, if you're in a pinch and you need something and you don't have a battery that's charged, you could grab something off your Dewalt, and it works just fine. Just adds a little different color to it. But yeah, so we'll give Mac a point for that. But since we're talking about batteries, and we give Mac a point for that, Makita also offers a 4 amp hour battery pack with the power gauge, and slides on your ratchet, no problem. So to me, if you're gonna be doing some serious work, you're going to want to put it on a 4 amp hour battery. It's going to last you all day. So that's a point for Makita right there. Alright, let's talk about the lighting on this. With the Mac, you have a light built in further down closer to the trigger. And the way it operates is you push the trigger, pull the trigger to operate the tool, and the light is going to turn on. As soon as you relieve pressure, no more light. On the Makita, it gives you the option to, well, first of all, the light is actually mounted up more towards the anvil, just about maybe an inch away from it. So you're pretty much lighting the actual work surface that you're working on, instead of kind of just the area. I like that feature better. Also, the Makita's programmed to just to give it a slight tap of the trigger, and the light will stay on. The light will stay on for a few seconds to light up your work area, kind of figure out what the hell you're going to do, and off you go, fixing it. So I like that feature. It also does operate if you pull the trigger as well, and it gives you a little time delay to stay on after you're done as well. So that's definitely a point right there for the Makita. Let's kind of see how these things actually operate as far as light output. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights off here. And the first one we're going to do is going to be the Mac. Okay, so lights are off. It is pitch dark. You probably can't see shit. And we're going to go ahead and pull the trigger on the Mac. And that's all the light it's going to put out. Let's go ahead and check out. All right, lights are turned off. Let's go ahead and tap that trigger on the Makita. And you'll see these are in the same position. And that's the light you're getting with the Makita. It's a huge difference in LED power right there. So as far as lighting goes, we're going to have to give another point here to the Makita as far as the output on the light. Going back to the designs on these ratchets, one thing I like about the Makita that the Mac does not offer is a locking switch. So right here you can lock it out, throw in a bag, do a road call, service call, what have you, and it's not going to discharge the battery accidentally. The Mac offers nothing like that. It's just, if you have some pressure here on the paddle and it's in a bag rolling around with the other tools, you could possibly discharge the battery, drive 30, 40, 50, fucking 500 miles to a road call. You get there, the thing's dead, you're screwed, and you're going to be pissed. So we're going to give Makita a point for that locking feature, which is nice. First, we'll talk about the head here, which is a sealed head, 1/4 inch drive. Nice and sealed up. You won't get too much debris in there. Occasionally you'll get some in there, but you can just clean that out. It doesn't actually get into the gear ratcheting mechanism behind the anvil there, which is nice. Versus on the Makita, you got your like traditional air ratchet style head, which is not sealed. But you do got a better select lever, whereas on the Mac you got your traditional reverse built into the head. This one is also built in the head, but it's a paddle style, so you can just flip it which direction you want to go quickly with one finger. This one, you kind of gotta get a good grip on it and kind of release some tension on there in order to change the direction on there, which can be a pain in the ass sometimes. So I definitely like the Makita's little paddle style they got here. I think that's unique. It's kind of exclusive to them. I've never really seen it on anybody else. If you have, let me know in the comments. But that's the point right there for the Makita. Alright, so now that you've seen both ratchets in action and up close, we're going to pick a winner here. And that clearly goes to the Makita, and the reason why, it's got more points in this competition. But not only that, in my opinion, I think it's just a more well-designed tool. I think that they put a lot of thought in the engineering process of this tool. One thing, like I said, the trigger sits flush like that. I like that. It feels good. You just gotta put 2 fingers there, and if you like 2 fingers, if you know what I mean, that's gonna work for you. Versus the Mac, I do like the trigger on it. I just don't like that it protrudes out like that too much. It's kind of bulky, kind of gets in the way. But I do like the little contour of that, where you could grab it with your whole fist. Some people like the fist. But yeah, you could grab a whole grip on it like that, which is nice. But I do like the Makita better. Like I said, the locking feature, big deal. Road calls, you don't want to discharge that battery. The light feature and the light power output, way better. I would say one drawback on the Makita, which we're going to have to deduct a point for, would be the battery indicator. The way it slides in, they have the battery indicator on the inside port right there. And that's kind of inconvenient. It still operates. You can still press the button and see it. But it's just in a weird spot. I would like it better back here. But that's just my opinion. So we'll deduct a point for that. But it's still the winner. So either way, Makita for the win. Alright guys, let me know what you guys think, what you guys would purchase down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. I don't give a fuck. And like and share. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.